think I was 2 years old when Hurricane Andrew came in, and we were living in Miami at the time, and that was like a devastating hurricane. I think it was the most destructive hurricane in Florida.
Yeah.
But outside of that, there hasn't been really like a catastrophic hurricane, at least on our coast. I know the West Coast got, damaged, and a good amount of destruction on the West Coast, like Fort Myers area, Naples. But we've been lucky on the East Coast, and it's you just have to prepare. The big thing is like if you don't have impact shutters or if you don't have impact windows, you got to put board up. But knock on wood, we've been pretty lucky here the last few years.
Yeah, absolutely. So other than like putting shutters up on windows or having impact windows, like what are some other things people can do to kind of prepare for their first hurricane?
Yeah, so you might want to Google it and not just blindly trust my advice, but batteries are always good, flashlights, candles. If you've got a generator, just make sure you've tested it. I think you're supposed to test your generator every 6 months.
Yeah. Make sure it's gassed up.
Yeah. And as far as foods go, like obviously prepping for foods, and like what I like to do is like, when hurricane season is every year, right? So like, don't wait until the first hurricane hits to like go to the grocery store, because it's a madhouse. Just even getting water, fuel, like a lot of the essentials. So just get ahead of the crowd a little bit, so you're not scrambling last minute when it comes to like just the basic necessities.
Yeah, no, that's huge. And yeah, already, like, I know haven't gotten to the summer season yet. I'm already stocking up on water and non-perishables.
There you go.
Like, nope, we're not doing this madness. Like the Jupiter Walmart's already in crazy house right now. So
yeah, exactly.
Don't want to add hurricane season on top of it. So, okay. So glad to hear that. Oh, kind of cut you off there. So we're talking about the reasons that people are moving to this area. The weather is definitely something that's definitely helped. Do you know of any other reasons that they're moving here?
I just think as far as from a business perspective, there's been a ton of growth in Palm Beach Gardens and West Palm Beach. So, a lot of the major corporations are moving down here. So I think that's triggered it a ton. Like you look at downtown West Palm Beach and you look at, 15, 20 years ago, not really a great place to be. Like any downtown areas, like there's nicer areas and there's not so nice areas, but I'll tell you, they're doing a heck of a job, developing a lot of those not so great areas in the past, and it's really fun to watch. It's really grown a ton, like Nora District and SoSo and all those areas down there, like between like Lake Worth up to West Palm, have shown incredible growth over the last 5 years.
Yeah. Now the Nora District, that's for some people that's going to be a really interesting concept. Can you kind of talk a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, so I think they're looking to create a bit of like a neighborhood, like almost like another city inside of West Palm. And right now, I think it's a couple retail shops, coffee shop, restaurants. But I think the plan for growth is going to be quite substantial, stretching like 3 or 4 blocks, like in the heart of downtown West Palm. So it's going to be interesting, and it's super nice area. My wife loves this coffee shop down there. It's actually really good. I'd love to shout him out right now, but I can't remember the name. But it's a cool area. It's a good spot for young families. And I think Clematis is great too. like downtown. But it's interesting to see like just outside of downtown how much, it's been cleaned up and how much it's grown over the last few years.
Yeah, it's really interesting to like look at it on a map and just knowing how the entire area developed. Because I mean, Henry Flagler developed like Palm Beach, and then West Palm, which is kind of the area where like all the employees and servants and all of them lived, and that's kind of been just kind of reflected throughout the ages here, really, at this point. So you still have the super affluent people over on the Palm Beach, but West Palm, it's for people like you and me. But,
Yeah.
but it, some of it can definitely look worse for wear. So, I don't know. Like, is it something where people in the area, like they hate to see that kind of gentrification coming in with things like Nora, or is it generally seen as kind of a positive thing?
I mean, I view it as a positive thing. I think the type of people that are moving down here are the type of people that, you would be friends with, right? Like that you want to be around, right? So, I think it would be nice to have like the old Florida back, but at the same time, I think that's a very, a lot of people say that, oh, like, I want old Florida back, but like, I just don't see the negative in the type of people that are moving here in the development that's being done, the buildings that are going up. Maybe there's a little bit more traffic, but I think overall it's great for the economy down here and great for many different facets of life.
Yeah. And that's really the thing I think a lot of people kind of forget, like with the added traffic and everything, you do get more opportunities, you get, more of these conveniences coming in, you get more capital kind of directed into the area. So, I mean, there's like with everything, there's going to be pros and cons there, but, I kind of get where some people come from and like wanting to keep it the way things were before, but, also that's no town, community, region ever stays exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like it's a myth that doesn't exist. So I'm just happy to see this area looks like the trajectory is actually going up instead of like turning depressing.
Yeah, I was gonna say if a region or city is staying exactly the same over the course of 50 years, it's probably not a good sign.
Yeah, not great. All right, well, folks, we're going to take a really quick break here real quick. If you've been watching this show for a little bit, you do know that I have a relocation guide for those of you who are considering making the move here, and get your hands on a copy of that. Go ahead and go to my website, pbcliving.kw.com. Link for that is going to be in the description section down below. Just go to the website, scroll down, and make sure you register there. Put Florida Relocation Guide so I know what to send you, and we'll make sure to get you a copy. But yeah, let's go ahead and finish this up here, though.
Okay.
So with that being said, then, what's the best way to ask this? So we talked about the additional traffic. That's one thing. Would you say the overall character of the region, Palm Beach County in general, has like started to shift and it's becoming something entirely different, or is it more or less like kind of holding on to its old identity?
Yeah, I don't think it's changed a whole lot. I just think it's growing. It's growing. I don't think it's necessarily changed identities. I mean, it's still great coastal towns. From Jupiter to Boca. A little bit more growth down in West Palm. I mean, Jupiter's. I think Jupiter's gotten a lot of like national attention, specifically from golfers. They've become more open on the PGA Tour and even the live golf guys, and they're getting like kind of the behind the scenes. They had a couple documentaries called Full Swing, and literally they show like the golfer and a little bit about his family and where he lives. And like, I don't know, I think 90% of the golfers lived in Jupiter. So, and it was kind of like to a national audience. So I think that's what's really, expedited the amount of people that are moving here, especially like in the golf community. And if you guys ever get a chance and you are into golf, there's a place called The Park in West Palm Beach. And the place is really special. I mean, it's a really nice golf course. And outside of the golf, what they've really done down there is like created like a community vibe, like where it's like big time, like family oriented music playing. They've got a restaurant and a bar outside. It's just a really cool place to go hang out. And especially if you're into golf, even if you're not into golf, it's still a cool place to hang out. But they have a great practice facility down there, and it's a really, really unique spot. And I think, the developers and the guys that came out with this vision to create like an all-inclusive, everyone can, golf, it doesn't necessarily just have to be a rich man's game, right? Where, they really have a sense of community down there, and it's a really cool spot, the park, if you guys want to check it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you play much golf yourself, or?
I do. Yeah. Yeah. I do. In my free time when I'm not hanging out with the kids, it's like, work, golf. Well, not in that order, obviously, but family, golf and work, those are the kind of three things that I do.
Gotcha. And then, I mean, from the park, you obviously just have the, straight on-ramp to get into the Bears Club and everything like that in the area too. So
yeah. I mean, there's a ton of good golf, great golf courses. I think Jupiter might be coined as like the golf capital of the world. Unfortunately, for most of the public, you have to pay a lot of money to play that golf. There's not a lot of good public golf courses.
Yeah.
But I think that's why the park did what they did, and they realized that there was a need for that. And that's a public course. There's a lot of great golf courses. Unfortunately, most of them are private. That you need $250,000 to join.
Yeah, I mean, some of them, like, money is not enough. You have to get like straight up invited, and it's like this whole smoke-filled back room kind of a thing. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
So sometimes you can't even buy your way in.
No, it's not all about the money. You need references, and actually, like at multiple of the clubs, you need 3 people that are current members to
kind of vouch for you.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's I mean, once you're in there, though, I mean, I'm assuming you've taken every precaution to make sure you surround yourself only by cool people. So hopefully you'll have a fun group.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, that's awesome.